Hello everyone, it's Dylan from Yugioh Everything, and welcome back to another Yu-Gi-Oh! VRains cast list analysis / summary discussion. In this video, we are going to go over the episode 95 cast list, which came out earlier today. Big thank you to DMC for translating, but before we get into the cast list, I do want to talk for a couple minutes about the V-Jump leaks. Usually when the opening or ending is going to change, we actually saw it last month when the ending 5 got announced, Are You Ready by BIS, which is going to start in April, going to start potentially in like 2 or 3 weeks, most likely in like 5 or 6 weeks. We were hoping that the V-Jump for this month, for March, was going to contain some news regarding maybe Season 3, maybe Opening 3, maybe the opening changing. I mean, Go Forward has been here for now almost a year. I am kind of sad to announce that unless there was a page missing in the pre-scans, which is very unlikely, we got no news, meaning that this season is not going to end in April, and that also means that Go Forward very well could be around for another 24 to 25 episodes. Usually the openings switch every 24, 25 episodes. That's kind of like the precedent. They usually switch in like April or October, I believe. So are we going to have Go Forward for another, as I just said, 24, 25 episodes, another half a year? If that's the case, Go Forward will shatter 99%'s record, GX's second opening of being the longest opening in terms of episode duration ever in a Yu-Gi-Oh! My issue with I like the song. Obviously, we've been spoiled as Yu-Gi-Oh! Fans because we are used to new openings every 6 months, really. That's what happened with Zale in Arc 5. And we are used to new visuals, we're used to new songs, we're used to new, arcs and new foreshadows and stuff. But my issue with Go Forward right now is that the opening is so outdated. It's already outdated, and the fact that it's not going to be changing in April, meaning it probably won't be changing until maybe the next change when the ending 6 comes, which will be in October. Now, that might not be the case. It could change in May. It could change in June. There's no confirmation. There's no set in stone confirmation that it has to change in April or October, but that's just what the precedent is. So there's a good chance that we're going to be with it for another 24, 25 episodes, but already the opening is outdated. They have not changed Aoi Zaizen to Blue Maiden in the opening. She's still Blue Girl. So they haven't changed that. Revolver still has his old mask in the opening. His outfit hasn't even been updated. Blood Shepherd is still very prominent in it. Blood Shepherd's been dead for quite some time. There's no Windy. There's no Lightning, who are arguably two of the main, definitely Lightning at least, two of the main antagonists of this arc. You do have the one quick scene of Bowman and Haru, but the opening is already outdated, so 24, 25 episodes into the future, this opening is going to be, unless they do a whole rehaul, which, that's the thing, 99% lasted 70 episodes, but it transcended seasons. It started in Season 1, and it lasted all the way into Season 2, actually all the way through Season 2, and I believe there were 4 or 5 versions of that opening. Go Forward, I don't think has changed at all, or if it has, it's been very minor changes, but to not even change Blue Girl to Blue Maiden, to not even change Revolver into his new look, has been a little bit of a disappointment, and you can say, well, maybe they're just not bothering with the changes, but then you look at Glory, look at Ending 4, they changed Go's look when Go was getting transformed by Soul Tech, they changed Blue Girl into Blue Maiden, I'm pretty sure, for that ending as well, so they've made changes to the endings, but they haven't updated the openings for whatever reason. They've put more care into the endings, which is very strange and unusual for any anime to do. Usually, they spend more focus on the opening, so that's what I wanted to start on. Unfortunately, it does not look like we are going to be getting the opening to switch when the ending switches. What does that mean? Does that mean that this arc is going to last another 6 months? Potentially. And at that point, we'll probably only have 6 months left of the show. So, yeah, we're just going to have to wait and see. But definitely a little bit of a letdown. I was really betting that just like March of 2018, when we got Soulburner's design on the 17th of the month, we got Bowman's design, Haru's design, Flame's design and bio, we got all their bios, was hoping to get something like that on the 17th of this month, but the fact that it is already the 19th, and usually the scans almost always come out either the 17th or 18th, pretty much means, again, unless there's like a page missing, and we will get that in a couple of days, it most likely confirms that there is not going to be any Season 3 info or opening news changing anytime soon. So just wanted to start with that, which is a bit of a letdown, but let's go into the cast list now. If you do not want any spoilers, and please leave your thoughts on everything in regards to the opening and everything I just talked about. If you do not want any spoilers on the cast or on what's going to happen, now is your chance to click off the video. 3, 2, 1, here we go. Episode 95, The Phoenix's Radiance. Bowman boasts that he has obtained a power that transcends human intellect itself and allows him to manipulate luck. Empowered by their bonds, Soulburner and Flame drive Bowman into a corner with their Salmon Great monsters. However, something abnormal then happens to Flame. So when the big batch of summaries came out, I analyzed this with my friend Pete, and the first thing that we both thought was Wendy's curse is real. There was no confirmation that Wendy was going to have any role, but that's just the vibe that we both got, and that a lot of people got. A lot of people had commented it as well. Here is the cast list. Yusaku, Ai, Homura, Flame, Shoichi, Ryoken, Faust, Gnome, Bowman, and Wendy. And extras. Wendy's curse is real. The fact that he's going to be speaking in this episode, I think, confirms 100% that the abnormal thing happening to Flame has to do with Wendy. And Flame's biggest error was assuming that I can't have curses, or they can't place curses, because clearly he's going to get effed over in this duel, and most likely Soulburner will get screwed over in this duel. Bowman is being driven into a corner. Usually it means he's going to win. I love the transcends human intellect part, because we got that at the end of Season 1. Remember when Revolver said that he formed a battle formation that transcended human intellect? So this is not the first time they've used that phrase, which is honestly so over the top. It's so ridiculous, but I absolutely 100% love it. And I love how he's claiming that he can manipulate luck, which is just it's just so good. It's such a well-written summary. As for people that are speaking, again, we have Wendy, which I'm going to go into in a little bit. Kusanagi is also speaking in episode 94. I wouldn't look too much into that, because I really do believe that it's just him narrating the previews, and because of that puts him on the cast list. I don't think he's actually going to have a speaking role in the episode. Yusaku is speaking, which is kind of weird to me, because he is unconscious going into episode 94, so I guess he's going to wake up rather quickly, or maybe there will be some sort of flashback scene that he speaks in, but him speaking kind of is a surprise. And there's actually a name on this list, a name that's not on this list, excuse me, that really surprises me, because when Wendy ends up placing this curse on Flame, and Wendy ends up probably costing Flame and Soulburner the duel, which, by the way, it's going to be so fun to watch. Now, I will say, I was a little critical on how these duels had played out, because when Soulburner beat Wendy, I thought that Spectre could have used a win, and I thought Spectre versus Wendy would have been great. I thought even Wendy could have used a win more than Soulburner. I thought Aoi and Bowman were dueling each other, but I thought either of them could have used a win more than Soulburner. I thought Soulburner had a very good season in terms of wins, and even a bit of character development, that whether he lost or not, it wasn't going to really hurt his season as much as it maybe would have hurt a Spectre who was one and done this season, or an Aoi who barely dueled. But the way that these duels played out, they had to play out this way. So I apologize to the writing team, but I am so happy that, looking back on it, Soulburner had to be the one to defeat Wendy, because Wendy had to be the one to place the curse on Flame, and now this is going to come to fruition. And because of that, that's why Spectre had to verse Lightning. It's why, well, Blue Maiden was always going to verse Bowman, so that really, you can't really mix that one. I thought Spectre and Soulburner could have swapped places, but the route that they're going meant that Soulburner had to be the one to defeat Wendy, so I love that. There's not really any issue there. And again, if Soulburner had beaten Bowman, then I think that would have been a cause for, okay, well, why couldn't, Blue Maiden have been the one to defeat Bowman? But if Bowman wins this duel, there's not going to be anything like that. So I think the writers are not trapping themselves. I think they are doing actually a really good job with these last final duels, and that's obviously my prediction. I think most people assume Bowman is going to win, especially now that Wendy is going to be a factor, and again, will probably cost Soulburner and Flame this duel. It's going to be so fun to watch. And Windy, who has lost to Revolver, he's lost to Soulburner. A lot of people said he hasn't really done too well. He's going to get the last laugh. And you can't say that he hasn't done too much because he's going to be probably directly responsible for costing Soulburner this duel. And that is going to be really cool to see it play out. The name that I am stunned is not on this cast list is Lightning. I had to do a double take because I'm like, is Lightning really not speaking? Lightning not only, you would assume, is watching this duel, he's watching Bowman take down Soulburner or trying to take down Soulburner, or maybe he's scheming to himself. But then when Windy comes back and starts cursing Flame or doing whatever he's going to do, you would think Lightning would make some sort of comment. But the fact that Lightning is either going to be quietly watching for the entire episode or isn't going to even be in the same room as these two characters as this duel taking place is very strange. Right? What is Lightning doing? And I imagine that everyone here knows what's going to happen in 96 and most likely 97. The duel after this is going to be Revolver versus Lightning. So maybe Lightning left because he has some business to attend to. Maybe we'll see that in tomorrow's episode in 94. But I was very surprised to see Lightning not on this episode, and I was so pleasantly surprised to see Windy speaking in this episode. It's going to be so great, guys. And if any of you think Soulburner is going to win, let me know down below. I mean, I still am not 100% convinced that Bowman will win, but I'm like 90-95%. It's probably the most sure I've been in a duel for quite a while now. And when Bowman wins, when Bowman beats Soulburner and Flame, I guess you do have to say but if it happens, Bowman will have Flame, he will have Aqua. It seems he has Earth, which is kind of unexplained. It either has to do with Crystal Heart or Spectre. I'm just assuming it's one of those two. And he will have Windy, because Windy at this point seems like he's attached to Flame. Another really cool thing that would happen is, what if it's like Dark Zale? Remember when Astral kind of got corrupt and then he corrupted Yuma in that duel against Vector? And something crazy like that happens to Soulburner here because Flame gets corrupt, and then because Flame is connected to Soulburner, Soulburner gets really evil and dark and gets an evil transformation and ends up losing. That would be so freaking cool, dude. That would be so freaking awesome. It's going to be, and we know Soulburner is extremely heated and angry, so maybe Windy will let him or force him to really give into the anger and become this almost different person and get a whole dark evil transformation, and that's what lets Bowman end up defeating him because Soulburner completely goes insane in this duel. There's so many possibilities, so many routes they can take. I am so excited to see what happens, and the point I was making before is all Bowman will need is Eye and Lightning. That is all he will need, and Lightning, seemingly, as far as we know, even though I'm a little hesitant to say it, will give himself up to Bowman. Not sure if that's how it's going to play out because Revolver says, based on the 96 summary, that Lightning has some other ulterior motivations in terms of Bowman. So we will just have to keep an eye on that. But guys, I am so excited for this duel, which is going to begin tomorrow in 94, and I'm so excited to see how it concludes in 95 and just to see how the rest of this arc concludes. And I'm really excited to hear from all of you down below. A special thank you to my Platinum tier patrons Alexa Baker, Glen McGookin, Jorge Carrillo, James Rose, Omni Lord, Samuel Stark, Thomas Adderley, Horace Maye, and Amber Crystal, and to my Diamond tier patrons Bouldergeist and Jesse Wood, and to my Egyptian God tier patrons Syn Cloud and Chris Swan. A huge thank you to everyone who supports me over on Patreon. I cannot tell you how much it helps me and helps the channel, and a thank you to everyone who just watches these videos, comments on these videos, because without you guys, I would not be able to do this. I will talk to you down below. So excited to hear about what you have to say in regards to this duel and in regards to maybe being stuck with Go Forward for another 25 episodes. I'll talk to you down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have an amazing day.